My dear students, welcome to my today's online class in the form of a recorded video lecture pertaining to EVS paper, which is the non-core paper, compulsory paper for first semester of Maharani Cluster University of all streams, graduations, okay. In the first slide, you can see a sort of collage where all possible sources of air pollution have been put together, natural as well as anthropogenic activities causing air pollution. We shall discuss the causes, etc., causes, effects, and how to control air pollution, both indoor and outdoor, in few next coming slides, and understand the various concepts. When do you say air is polluted? It is an undesirable change in the physical, chemical or biological characteristics of air. See, what we say unpolluted air has a certain permissible values, particular composition of physical parameters, chemicals and biological characters. And if there is addition of some of these physical or chemical or biological characters which will bring down the quality of air or which increase the content of harmful substance in air such as oxides of nitrogen, sulfur, etc., then we say air is polluted. So, air pollution, definition-wise, is an undesirable change in the physical, chemical or biological characters of air where there is increase in the content of harmful substances such as oxides of nitrogen, sulfur, etc. See, there are two ways of writing the spelling of sulfur. SULPHOR one thing, SULPHUR another thing. Both have been used in PPTs, okay. Remember that. Then, so air pollution is said to exist if the levels of gases, solids or liquids present in the atmosphere are quite high enough to harm humans, plants, other organisms and even abiotic materials. Then we say the air is polluted. It may become polluted by natural causes such as volcanoes, natural disasters which release ash, dust, sulfur and other gases to the air, or by forest fires that are occasionally naturally caused by lightning. Nobody to be blamed, and these are all natural phenomena. But today human activities are responsible for most of the air pollution. That is a very bad thing. Then pollutant is an agent that causes pollution. So accordingly, an air pollutant is a substance in the air that is adversely affect human beings and ecosystem. That agent is called a pollutant, and these pollutants can be either primary pollutants or secondary pollutants. Let us see what are they. Primary pollutants are harmful chemicals that are released to the atmosphere directly from a source like automobiles or industries, etc. For example, carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, nitrogen oxide, sulfur oxides, variable organic compounds, especially hydrocarbons, and suspended particulate matter. It is not particular matter, particulate matter. Sorry for the spelling. So, which are directly released into the atmosphere from the source. Those agents are called primary pollutants. On the other hand, secondary pollutants are produced by chemical reactions involving the primary pollutants. Say for example, some industry will release sulfur dioxide, SO2, that will react with water to form sulfuric acid. In the same way, nitric acid, formation of mist, formation of smog, smoke plus fog is smog, and formation of ozone in Xerox machines, etc. So, all these are secondary pollutants which are produced by chemical reactions involving the primary pollutants. So, air pollutants are of two types, primary pollutants and secondary pollutants. You have to be familiar with these concepts. Now, after having understood all this, we shall discuss causes and effects of indoor air pollution. Indoor means inside our houses, offices, etc. Outdoor means in the atmosphere. We shall discuss both the causes and effects of indoor air pollution and also outdoor air pollution, and discuss the remedial measures also, how to address these things. Then, so next, coming to the indoor pollution, all these pesticides, mosquito repellents, cleaning agents like Harpix, Lysol, etc., used in households, they can cause toxic conditions, and they happen to be the air pollutants. So also, building materials like asbestos, glass fiber, paints, glues, varnishes, they are all health hazards. They cause irritation of the eyes and also skin, cause number of respiratory ailments, cancer, etc. So these are all the ones which cause the indoor air pollution. Apart from that, we often use air-conditioned rooms, offices. They cause a broad spectrum of health complaints because the sealed space accumulates various contaminants. Then, cigarette smoking affects both smokers as well as non-smokers. People who are sight by a person who is smoking and inhale the smoke that is released by a smoker while smoking the cigarette, they also inhale, and they are called passive smokers. So it is equally detrimental for passive smokers also. And the common pollutants in urban interiors are cigarette smoke, gases from stoves, formaldehyde from carpets and furniture, then pesticide cleaning solvents, then ozone from Xerox machines and photocopies, right? Then, so sorry for the interruption. Sorry for the interruption. There was some problem with the alignment of slides. So, after having studied the cigarette smoking effect and all, we shall study the effect of air pollution on health. You know, this polluted air is affecting the health of the people, particularly children and the aged ones. In Delhi alone, 1 out of every 10 school-going children suffer from asthma, and chronic asthma leads to bronchitis and so many other ailments. And people who work in asbestos companies and all, they are exposed continuously to these particulate matters, and over the decades, they end up with a condition called emphysema. Emphysema is accumulation of fluids in the lungs. So, emphysema is one detrimental effect of air pollution, and especially it is an occupational health hazard for those who are working in asbestos company like that. Then air pollutants, they irritate eyes, cause inflammation of respiratory tract, etc. If the people already are, suffering from respiratory illness, this air pollution may lead to the condition becoming chronic, and at later stage, it may end up in so many other medical complications. Apart from this, it will cause skin allergy also. And many pollutants, they depress the immune system. Immune system goes down, making the body more prone to the infections. And the carbon monoxide from automobile emissions can cause headache at lower levels, and mental impairment, and even death at higher levels. Okay? Then, lead is added to this petrol for preventing choking of the engine, but it is extremely poisonous, and accumulation of lead in the body will end up in paralysis, numbness, and even death. So, this is one side effect of lead which is used in petrol. Then you must have seen this scene. It is often seen in your city, in your Bangalore city itself. Trucks and buses, run on diesel. They have very high sulfur content. The old engines, they emit large quantities of suspended particulate matter, leading to heavy air pollution. And this is true in all metropolitan cities. And then you should know this concept of smog. Smog is a type of air pollutant, and the word smog is a hybrid word which is a combination of smoke and fog. Smoke plus fog gives you smog. ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಮೋಕ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಹೊಗೆ, ಫಾಗ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಮಂಜು. ಹೊಗೆ ಮತ್ತು ಮಂಜು combine ಆದಾಗ you will get ಹೊಂಜು, right? So the Kannada equivalent kind for smog is ಹೊಂಜು. ಹೊಗೆ plus ಮಂಜು is ಹೊಂಜು. The way you hybrid smoke plus fog is equal to smog. It's a big problem in cities like Beijing, London, etc., like Los Angeles, where exhaust fumes of cars which will cause the smog. And to date, Delhi is supposed to be the most polluted city on the earth. Smog will cause lot of lung diseases and increase the mortality rate, that is death rate. According to a particular estimate, air pollution causes the death of about 10,500 people in Delhi every year, and this is quite a large number. So smog is very detrimental to the health. Then coming to the rural areas, indoor air pollution is taking a toll on the health of women who work in kitchen. Traditional stoves that use wood, coal, animal dung spew out poisons that women inhale regularly, directly. This is equivalent to the smoking of 100 cigarettes a day. Very sorry state of affairs. Then, after having studied about indoor pollution, we should learn about the causes and effects of outdoor pollution. You can see this PPT, which is in a pathetic state, which is depicting the heavy outcome of smoke in atmosphere. We'll see few PPTs. The sources of outdoor pollution, number one, burning of fossil fuels in automobiles, power stations, chemical, metal and paper industries. Number two, mining activities leading to dust as well as fires. Number three, natural emissions from animals, decaying organic matter, etc. Number four, burning of biofuels, tropical rainforests, waste of all kinds. Then number five, disasters like earthquakes, volcano eruptions, dust storms, leak of gases like Bhopal gas tragedy, what I have referred in my video pertaining to pollution case studies, and armed conflicts. Then festivals, we burn crackers in Diwali, which will pollute the air to the considerable extent. Then dust storms are typically formed in desert areas, and from there, they can spread to places thousands of kilometers away. Then industries, automobiles are the main contributors to outdoor air pollution across the world. Then, on a large scale, air pollution leads to acid rain, ozone layer depletion and global warming, which are all environmental hazards. And these things must have been taught by some other teacher in our unit 3. After having learnt about indoor air pollution and outdoor air pollution, how are you going to address the various aspects of air pollution? We will give a look into that. You have to give greater emphasis on prevention of pollution rather than the control or regulation. One has to reduce the use of fossils and increase the use of renewable energy, and one has to use fuels with low sulfur and ash content. Okay, then one has to improve the quality of vehicular fuel. One has to use unleaded petrol so that lead is not released into the atmosphere. Then encourage the people to use public transport, walking for short distance or use a cycle as opposite to private vehicles. Here there is a spelling mistake. Pupil, P-U-P-I-L, pupil is part of the eye. Kannin pape antivalla adu. So here it is not pupil, P-E-O-P-L-E, people. One has to bring about environment awareness among public to use public transport, walk or use a cycle as opposed to private vehicles. Ensure that houses, schools, restaurants and playgrounds, they are not located on busy streets. And plant trees along, one has to plant the trees along the busy streets as they remove particulate matters and they absorb carbon dioxide, they absorb noise also. So it is always good. ಹಿಂದೆಲ್ಲ ರಾಜರುಗಳು ಸಾಲು ಮರಗಳನ್ನು ನಡೆಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು, ಆವಾಗ ಅಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಪೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಇಲ್ದಿದ್ರು ಕೂಡ ತಂಪಾಗಿರಲಿ ಅಂತ. ಬಟ್ ನಾವು ಫಾರ್ ದಿಸ್ ಪರ್ಪಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಒನ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟು ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ದ ಟ್ರೀಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ದೆನ್ industries and waste disposal sites should be situated outside the city purview, preferably on the downwind of the city. Catalytic converters should be used to control emissions of carbon monoxide and hydrocarbons. And then in industries, in industrial centers, emission rate should be restricted to permissible levels by each and every industry. And these permissible values are available. Government has announced, released, and one has to strictly follow the Air Act. Then one ensure sufficient supply of oxygen to the combustion chamber and adequate temperature so that combustion is complete, thereby eliminating much of the smoke consisting of partly burned ashes and the dust. Okay. Then one has to use mechanical devices such as scrubbers, baghouses, electrostatic precipitators in manufacturing processes. The air pollutants collected must be carefully disposed. The factory fumes are dealt with chemical treatment. So these are all some of the points, how you can address this burning problem of air pollution. Thank you, my dear students, for your patient learning. We shall discuss about some other types of pollutions in our next class. Thank you for your patient hearing. Stay blessed.